think the only time us men really get involved in stuff that's got to do with pads and tampons is when the girl says, no, I'm on my period, and then you guys are like, okay, cool, I'll see you next week.
So I finally made it to town, on my way to meet Charles. I think he's got a beard.
Yeah, I've got two boys. The one's 8, the other one is 6, Isak and Conrad, and they're 2 boys. And you think about how, as a father, the right values and so on. And the obvious first answer is respect. Teach them to respect. The other thing for me is the important role for a man. If there's one message that I have, it is any woman or child should feel safe with a man. That is your first purpose as a man. You're a kid, you're a woman, you feel safe in my environment. On my watch, you're cool, you're fine. And that's, I don't think one can break it down simpler than that.
Do you think I need to grow a beard to be more intimidating? Because I mean, if I walk up to a pack of guys, if I encounter something like this, I always thought to myself, what would I do?
And I think one knows that knee-jerk and anger doesn't usually bring out the best in anyone or the best results. So thoughtfulness and all that, but I mean, you have to step up. Huh? You're going to have to do that at least, but there are many ways to do it. And hopefully maturity and common sense and so on will make you do the right thing.
Now I'm off to meet Siv Ngesi. I just heard him on the radio. I'll attach the link. Oh, and by the way, I'm also rushing to catch a flight, which is going to leave pretty soon, back to Joburg. Okay, so I ran around the entire flipping building. That's what happens when you're in a rush. You lose track of things. That's Siv Ngesi, in case you don't know already.
Wrong way there.
Wrong way, that's glass. We're outside Media 24. Siv just came out of that interview that you heard on the radio. I took the opportunity, I actually just heard it on the radio, and I thought to myself, let me call Siv, let me speak to him in person, and hopefully he can share a little bit more with you about what he's doing exactly.
Literally, I'm just a man who has sisters and a mother, and one day I realized that how do women who are on the street actually pay for their sanitary products? So I put together my own drive, which is called the Dignity Drive, and that was actually last year. We raised about 14,000 packs of pads and 15,000 Rand, and now we're doing bigger and better. We're doing some bigger things, trying to get as many sanitary products out to a lot of women as much as possible, and actually we're fighting to make it free as much as possible, for as free as condoms, because I believe if men bled once a month, it would be free.
It would all be free.
If men bled once a month, pads would be free.
Exactly. So there's a lot of chauvinism still.
Definitely.
Yeah, and
we have it and we don't even know we have it sometimes.
No, exactly. I completely agree with you. I call myself out on it sometimes. I'm like, no. That was actually...
No, I have it. And like, for example, as we're speaking, I saw a lady and I walked and I looked at her ass. Now that is it's there.
But we are in Cape Town, so I don't actually blame you. I get a bit of whiplash.
A lot of beautiful women here.
Yeah, I get a bit of whiplash.
Definitely.
A lot of the time. But that's not the point.
31 women have been found dead this month. This last week alone.
This last week alone. Yeah, so...
if you have a talent, and if you have an income, and if you're only using it to yourself, you have failed the world and you continue to fail. If you're not using your talents to help other people, then you're failed. If you're not using your money to give some of it to other people, then you have failed. My mission is to make giving back as cool as the other side of the pillow. Try that again. I want to make giving back as cool as the other side of the pillow. Have you ever slept and then this side is warm and you turn it over and it's nice and cool? I think that's how I want to make giving back, and I think people need to give back as much as possible. And you know something? I give back for selfish reasons as well. I give back because it feels good as well. Like, it feels good. And if that's your only reason to give back, then do it, man. Right. A lot of the times people don't need to know what I do. Yeah. Like, I can give back. You don't need to know that I've given back. Just shut up and do it.
Yeah. But I also feel that it's important to talk about giving back.
For sure.
And it's important for you to tell people that you're doing something, because possibly that could inspire that person then to go out and do something.
Agreed.
So yeah, Siv, thanks for your time.
Man.
I've got to rush. Got to get to the airport.
Good luck to the airport, right?
Yeah, thanks, brother. Okay, heading back to the car, then heading to the airport. Woo! all in a day's work. So if I can do this, you can do something similar. You can put back. We all can put back. If you're only doing it for yourself, you have failed. Take your little bit of resources, whatever you have, and do something for someone else. Do something for a community, do something for an individual, do something for a family, but something outside of your immediate circle. Make a contribution. You have a limited time on this earth. Make the best of it. Use your energy for the right reasons. I promise you, if you do that, you will feel like Siv was saying, that there's this, he's doing it for selfish reasons too. And one of those selfish reasons is fulfillment. You get a sense of fulfillment, you get a sense of accomplishment, that you've done something that is bigger than you. I'm perspiring like crazy. But it's all for a good cause, right? And that's what this is about. Subscribe to Mzansi Man, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram. Let's help change the world together. We can do this together. We really can. It takes a community of people to raise a child. So with that said, it's going to take a community of people to shift the minds of individuals. And if you see anybody doing anything wrong, you call them on it. That is your duty to do as a man, as a woman. You call them on it, you blow that whistle, and you make it known, you make it heard. So I was walking through airport security and I noticed, what's your name?
Natalie.
I noticed Natalie's book, which says...
Well, I'm a researcher and I was just at a meeting in Cape Town held by the Mandela Initiative that brings together government, researchers, policymakers to try and feedback on what evidence there is and to change policy. What do we need to do here because the problem is so big? There are multiple ways to change policy: individual level, interpersonal level, community level, societal levels. If one was to think about change from those dynamics, that takes a long time. I think there's a lot of motivation for change, and I think people just want a whole bunch of skills in all those different areas on how to create change more sustainably and quickly.
So in the meanwhile, what can we do as individuals to then drive forward a change?
We know that children learn violence typically from home. That's where they experience most of the violence that they have. It's not stranger violence. People who experience a lot of intimate partner violence or child abuse tend to experience it at the hands of people they know really well. So it's protection within families, but also parenting and learning how to parent in less destructive ways. That's one way to go about it, because we often parent with the way that we were parented, and a lot of the time that's where this intergenerational transmission of violence comes from. We learn it from the people who are supposed to protect us and keep us safe.
So that just happened. How cool was that? I think the idea is to just continually pay attention to your immediate environment, right? So that you can pick up on things and that you can find interesting people that way. If I didn't look down and read the cover of a book, I wouldn't have known what she's doing. And here she is, she's trying to drive policy change. That's a huge thing. So yeah, there is a hope after all, right?